G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aussie Starcraft, where we're casting some more games from the IEM World Championships that took place a couple of weeks ago. Now, for those of you who didn't catch the tournament live, it was amazing. Some of the best Starcraft games thus far of 2014, and we're going to go through, pick out some of those replays and cast them for you so that you can enjoy some of the amazing Starcraft action that took place there. In the bottom left hand corner is our red Protoss player. It is going to be CJ Entus's herO, and if you're not familiar with herO, he's a two-time IEM champion this season. Managed to qualify by taking 2 tournaments on his way to the World Championships here, and one of the surefire bets to take out the tournament here in Katowice. So in the top right hand corner is our blue Zerg player. It's going to tearing it up for Team Roccat. It's going to be Hyun. Now Hyun, very popular in the community. He's very aggressive. Lately been doing a lot of Roach Hydra play, very quick timing attacks to try and exploit his opponents while they're still on 2 bases. As 3 base Roach Hydra are very powerful in the current metagame. So we'll see if he goes for something like that. This map is of course Yeonsu, so both players quite close together. Very easy for either player to execute those sorts of early timing attacks, or it can actually go, in spite of the rather small size of the map, can go on to form decent macro games. But Hyun throwing down the spawning pool first. Very likely we are going to see some very early pressure out of Hyun. So see herO here continuing to chrono boost probes out, actually going for a Forge Fast Expand. Is quite an interesting choice for herO. Does mean things like his warp gate and even his units out of his first gateway are going to be quite delayed. Something we don't see a lot of Protoss going for. Most Protoss tend to favour the gateway expands over Forge Fast Expand, but herO showing us that it can be done. It's not quite as out of style as people may think. We have herO throwing down a pylon here, going to be blocking the expansion, delaying it just a bit. So Hyun though, not going to delay him too much, going to throw down a queen instead with the minerals, and actually throwing down a hatchery at his 3rd base location. So this is quite an important decision for Hyun to make. Most Zerg players do tend to do this when blocked, but the important thing for herO is it does make that 3rd base quite hard to defend. As you can see, there'll be no creep joining these bases. The rocks in the way will stall the creep spread out for quite some time, and mean that Hyun will need to take these out in order to defend between base 2 and base 3 more effectively. So it does make the Zerg player quite susceptible to 2 base Protoss timings. Things like Sentry Immortals all-ins are very popular. As San showed us though, you can go for sort of crazy, it's called the San 3-gate train, also very popular, but herO's Forge Fast Expand is going to prohibit him from doing that sort of crazy early Protoss aggression, though still could follow up with some sort of robo tech is generally what we see out of Protoss players against Zerg nowadays. Though at the World Championships we did see a few Protoss players trialing the air tech route, though with varying degrees of success. I'd be surprised if we didn't see Robotech out of herO here in this game. Looks like Hyun just fairly content to macro at the moment. His 2nd base, or it's hard to not call it a 3rd base, but 2nd base established now. Queen in position there for some injects, and herO just quite contentedly macroing away in the corner. We have +1 weapons already on the way. Overlord going to be scouting out, but unfortunately for the Overlord, not a whole lot to see at the moment. We have a 2nd Overlord ready to scout. The real question is when and where will herO throw down his tech. Cybercore is up now, so he can place his tech anywhere he so desires. We have a Stalker on the way now to block off that gate, but herO actually has 2nd Stalker queued up behind us, so we could well be seeing some sort of early pressure out of a couple of Stalkers and Zealots. Mothership Core not actually on the way yet, which is a little bit of a surprise for players that do tend to get that out nice and early, as it does give them a lot of options to defend. herO being quite aggressive with this first Zealot and Stalker. Obviously getting great mileage out of the fact that this base is so far away from the main base. I'm going to take out a few Zerglings and actually threaten this queen here. Stalker needs to be very careful here on the creep. They know that Hyun doesn't actually have a whole lot of gas yet, so Zergling's speed I don't believe is finished yet. Indeed, it hasn't even started. So Hyun continuing to macro up in spite of this 9 workers actually on the way at a time there. A few Zerglings here to try and push these Stalkers back, but these Stalkers can be hugely annoying, particularly until Hyun manages to research that speed upgrade. So Hyun needs to be very careful as the Stalkers pick off a lot of Zerglings, and it really damages the economy of Hyun. The Zerglings are lava that could have been better spent on drones, so having that early poke as herO, always a good idea, particularly before the Zerglings have speed. And herO can't know just how far that speed is away, so he's pulled back these Stalkers, and just going to be using them to now defend what is a very early third base out of herO. So Mothership Core and a Stalker are going to force these Zerglings back. Been see Twilight Council on the way as well, so interesting tech choice there. They're already scouted by the Overlord, 3 gateways concluding in the main base, so we could well see 4 base Blink Stalker play, but herO it seems may even be failing. We have a phenomenal amount of sentries here, still no robotic center, but a lot of sentries. Blink on the way, so it looks like herO is going to go for some sort of sentry and Stalker push, so a little bit of an interesting choice, certainly not something we see a lot of. We do see a lot of Blink Stalker play, but not often combined with the sentry, so obviously herO looking to get a fairly nice engagement here at the third base. And for example, if you attack from the high ground and are able to force field the Zerg out, it does make it quite easy to snipe out this hatchery, and that'll put significant pressure on Hyun though. We see Hyun continuing to macro fairly confidently. We have Roaches coming out now, Roach speed almost concluded, and significantly more Zerg units on the map than we do have Protoss units. So got to be super careful about how he chooses to engage. Here actually pulling back here, 2 more gateways, going to be walling off that third base, and this is very herO-esque style of defense. Loves the 2 pylons with the cannon between them, walled off by the gateways. Very pretty, nice and symmetrical, and does make that fairly safe against most Zergling counterattacks. Hyun grabbing his armor upgrade now. +2 weapons almost finished now for herO, so it's going to be a significant upgrade advantage for herO. 2 weapons as opposed to the +1 armor that's still quite some way away. These force fields, nice force fields keeping the Roaches at bay, but I think herO may actually have to mass recall out of here. He's about to lose a lot of his sentries here. The Roaches focusing a few of them down, but herO managing to hold his ground here at the top of the ramp, and now there's pylons established, going to be able to warp in Stalkers straight at the front. And Hyun's lost a lot of units here. We still have energy enough for several force fields, and this third base is going to be under threat quite quickly. Lots of Zerglings and Roaches trying to get a surround on the Stalkers, but nice blink from herO. A few force fields prevent those units from making it through, but Hyun going to go straight for the pylon. The pylon almost goes down there. Another warp in of Zealots here. The snipe on the pylon will kill those. Nice surround on these Zerglings, doing quite a lot of damage. Good force fields though, keeping a lot of those Zerglings from getting into contact. The sentries unfortunately getting picked off at the top of the ramp. That is a big win for Hyun there. It will prevent these Protoss units from trading as effectively. Nice time warp gets thrown down. Queen picked off there. 1 Queen does go down. Nice transfuse saves the 2nd Queen. The Mothership Core almost getting picked off there. These sentries just being so cost efficient. Lots of Zerglings and Roaches still on the way. 14 Zerglings, 10 Roaches still on the way, as herO just trades massively effectively. There's not as big a margin as you would expect. 4,100 resources to 3,700, showing that Hyun managing to make the most of these engagements in spite of some great force field placement. herO continuing to try and pick away, but these Zealots just going to get surrounded, and the Stalker's actually trapped on the high ground. The Stalker does go down, 2nd one almost down, taken out there, and Hyun looks like he may actually manage to stabilize and hold this third base. 4th base is going up now, so is going to be 1 base up on the Protoss, which is exactly where he wants to be. If you can trade 1 for 1 with a Protoss player whilst having more bases, it does stand to reason that you will come out ahead. We actually have herO throwing down a Stargate. This is quite an interesting choice, particularly this late in the game. You don't often see Protoss players go for Stargates this late, so curious to see just what herO decides to play out of this. We have +3 weapons being chrono boosted out, and Hyun barreling down with what is looking like a terrifying roach sledgehammer here, going to be making his way towards the natural. Unfortunately, the rocks have already been destroyed. Stalker's going to be picking away from the high ground. Nice force fields from herO, actually going to trap 6 of these roaches here, and these are essentially free kills. Got to be careful though when those rocks go down. These zerglings and roaches will be able to engage, so nice choice of engagement from herO. They're able to bully the zerg units from the high ground. Poor zerglings unfortunately getting a little bit overeager. They're charging the stalkers and taking a lot of damage. herO just continuing to try and pick away at these units as best he can. herO still waiting on a few robo units. I thought we had the robo on its way some time ago. I think herO may have actually cancelled that first robo, as we never did see a unit out of it. Stargate has concluded, and there is actually Phoenix on the way, which is really interesting. The +3 weapons could be sniped here. Hyun really needs to focus that down, and indeed it does go down. That's a big call given how close it was to completing. herO could have definitely used that. +2 armor is on the way for the Zerg, but it may be too little too late, as Hyun's losing a lot of his units here, and herO does manage to continue holding there. We have massive Mutalisk counterattack here, tearing through the probes at the third base. Unfortunately, herO's Phoenix Micro is so good. The Mutalisk tech switch unfortunately not doing the damage that he would have liked. We can start to see that herO traded very effectively in those engagements. We have the Mutalisk unable to do the damage Hyun was hoping for. If we check out the workers lost tab, we can see only 4 workers killed with that massive tech switch. herO's Phoenix Micro just absolutely phenomenal. You can see him picking away at these units and not actually taking any damage from the Mutalisk. Stalkers on the ground going to blink back behind those force fields, and we can see the Stalkers and Phoenix now engaging the Mutalisk, and that is by far the engagement that Hyun cannot afford to take. Mutalisk against Stalkers and Phoenix need to pull back, get those Zerglings in the surround, and attack those Stalkers on as many fronts as possible. They do fire quite slowly, but if they're surrounded by Zerglings, they'll get ripped apart. So herO being very careful here. He is literally gambling with fate here as he steps onto the creep with these Stalkers. Stalkers do have the potential to blink back. There are so many Zerglings, but unfortunately the force field's just so good, and it seems like Hyun just can't catch these Stalkers slippery as soap as they just continue to blink away. We are starting to see the Stalkers go down here. Mutalisk trying to engage as best they can. Even the Queens, 4 Queens pulled off the hatcheries and trying to make things happen for Hyun here, but it looks like herO's Blink Micro might be too good. It's down to only a dozen Stalkers, but unfortunately the Zerg are running out of units even quicker. We have 50 Zerglings, 50 Zerglings flooding in here. Unfortunately, all the Queens have now been taken out. Check out the units tab, we're down to a single Queen, so this last wave of reinforcements is literally all that Hyun can muster. Even the drone's been pulled offline. Can he take out these Stalkers? I think not. Unfortunately, we have herO even blinking up to the high ground here in an effort to keep these Stalkers safe. And there's just Blink Stalker Micro at its best. We can just see herO's cost efficiency going out the roof. 21,000 resources lost to 15,000, and herO just showing what it takes to win 2 IEM tournaments in the course of Season 8. So it looks like herO will comfortably move through into game number 2. Though Hyun not to be discounted here. Hyun's played both these games that we've seen so very well, but herO showing that he's in amazing form here at the World Championships. Hope you guys have enjoyed the games. I've certainly enjoyed casting them. I have plenty more on the way. Tossing up in my mind whether we'll cast some of the Tasia vs Stardust games, or maybe even Revival vs Jack G. I loved both of those series. herO vs San, also one of my favourites. There's just so many amazing games. We'll cherry pick a few of them and pop them up on the channel. If you guys have anything you'd like to see, by all means send the link or replay or even the name of the game. I have the whole replay pack, so I can pull them out. Send us what you'd like to see. We'd love to cast them, and they'll be coming up soon here on Aussie StarCraft. So we'll catch you in the next cast. Thanks, guys.